The quest to seek justice in the murders of Delphi teens Abby Williams and Libby German is once again underway in the Carroll County Courthouse. Jurors are back in court. WRTV's Caitlin Kendall just stepped out from the courtroom to bring us an update. And Caitlin, this is the third day of testimony here.
It is the third day of testimony, Mark, and I got to be honest with you. Today has been the toughest day so far. Seeing crime scene photos for the first time, it was hard for everyone watching, including the jurors and the family of Abby Williams and Libby German. Inside the courtroom today, we, of course, have our jurors, as well as the family of Abby Williams and Libby German, and also the family of Richard Allen, all there to hear this day 3 of testimony. We've heard from 2 witnesses so far this morning. The first to take to the stand was a Carroll County detective. He responded to his timeline of events, the 13th, an evening the girls went missing. He described his search efforts till about 2 o'clock in the morning with a number of other first responders. And then he testified about the 14th, ultimately being the first law enforcement officer to the discovery of the girls' bodies at the crime scene. He testified in detail a bit about what he saw, and he got emotional during his testimony, saying that when he saw Abby Williams and Libby German, they had a substantial amount of blood on their body and underneath their body. And when asked if life-saving measures were performed on the girls, he testified no, that it was apparent that the girls were both dead. After his testimony was done, the next to take to the stand was a crime scene investigator. He was responsible for taking photos of the crime scene. And this is where it got a bit grueling for everyone watching. For 90 minutes, he testified and showed photos of the crime scene, the topography of the area showing the trees, but also the blood, also the bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German, and close-ups of the body. And when that was happening, the family of Abby Williams and Libby German, many of them had to look away. Many people of the general public had to look away when these photos were being shown. It was very uncomfortable. The family crying and sobbing. You could audibly hear that in the gallery. And also from the jury, I can tell you the jury was not comfortable seeing these photos. Some of the jury members putting their hands on their faces, on their heads, squirming in their seats a bit. One juror even did a bit of a sigh when those photos were shown. So it was a tough 90 minutes. Court has now recessed until 1 o'clock. The testimony of this, of course, the first day of seeing crime scene photos, arguably the hardest day in court so far. We'll, of course, be back in the courtroom at 1 o'clock when we go back after recess, bringing the very latest on WRTV News at 5 and 6, as well as online at WRTV.com. Mark?
All right, just so sad to hear what happened to those girls. Very tough day out there. Caitlin, we'll check back in with you later today for the latest. We did learn today the defense filed a motion regarding the video and audio found on Libby German's phone. We see a man on the bridge say, "down the hill." The defense wants to prohibit the prosecution from allowing witnesses to testify what they believe they hear on the recording. The defense says if the recording is to be played in court, they want the jurors to decipher what is said for themselves and not be swayed by witness interpretation.